Hello, my friends. Today's date is February 17th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a four-card reading to cover the year to follow. It's a general energy card for the year. This is a challenge card for the year, an action you can take to stay in balance card, and then an outcome or synopsis card. This is the general energy card of the year for those February 17th folks, and it is the desert. So, what is the reflection of the desert that you can look at this year and maybe understand the patterns through? Well, the desert, dry and hot, miserably hot in the daytime, and hard to find shelter, and hard to find shelter from the light, hard to find shelter from the heat, hard to find shelter that can give you water, that can give you sustenance, that can make you feel like you're not trudging through a barren place that feels empty and miserable. And then at night it gets so dang cold, and it gets so dang dark, and it gets so dang moody, and there's the sounds of the desert are can be quite scary and creepy. So the desert for most of us speaks a miserable place, a place to been through the desert on a horse with no name. It's like it says a lot about uh, drying out and drying up and struggling for life and struggling for help and struggling just to go along. But yet the desert is a beautiful place. It's full of potential. It's full of a little bit of water just suddenly makes the desert come alive. A little bit of water and juice makes things move, makes things alive, makes plants bloom, makes the sky fragrant, gives the beautiful sunsets and sunrises that cast the desert in shimmery purple mists and allow for imagination to flow. The night and then those evening tides and those morning tides are magical times in the desert when shapes shift and images come and voices are heard and intuition is felt, because you can't at night you can't see, you can only feel. In the daytime it's so bright that everything is shining right in front of you. If you need to see it, you're gonna see the scorpions, you're gonna see the snakes, you're gonna see the coyotes, you're gonna see the few birds that might flock through. You're going to see the turkey vultures coming in to swoop. So, what is the desert to you? Well, the desert is a place for you to go and dry out. The desert is a place for you to open up to your pain and open up to your emotions that you might have felt waterlogged by and overwhelmed by and shoveled down inside of you. And it's a sense of when you face yourself in your absolute lowest places, do you give up? Do you die in the desert? Or do you will yourself to go forward? Do you will yourself to find some sustenance? Do you will yourself to hear what the desert has to tell you? When you're in those throes of possibly not surviving, uh, boy, you're gonna hear truth, and you're gonna find out what really matters to you. And that's ultimately what this is about. What really matters to you. The desert is a powerful portrayer to you of what is important this year, of what really needs to be at your forefront this year, of what really needs to be shown in the bright light of the daytime of the desert sun so you can really see it, and then what really needs to go into the darkness of the barren night when you can only feel it, and you have to listen for your intuition, you have to listen for the knowings that come from those beings that can help you, that part of yourself that can help you. So this uh, is a powerful year. It is a powerful year to look at yourself, and often in the sense of not feeling like you have riches around you, you have support around you, you have life around you, you have vibrancy around you. So what is your challenge? Well, it is the Empress, and the Empress is, you know, Mother Nature. It's mothering energies. It's emotions, it's the waves of emotions, it's the fertility of being, it's the sense that even in times of trouble the mother gives what the mother can give for the sustenance and protection of the child. And so you don't feel like you're mothered. You don't feel like you're protected. You don't feel like you're given the resources you need. You don't feel like you're hearing the intuition that really allows you to go forward. You're seeing, I think the challenge is to not see things in just, the cut and dry of everyday light, and oh, this is just progressing along, and yeah, it's just going along. Oh, I see that, I'm scared of that, I'm a victim to that. No, the challenge is to feel down into the emotions and to feel into why you feel barren inside, even um, even when you have a lot of things around you and people around you who support you, and energies and resources that can give to you, and vitality in your being. If your soul is not feeling satisfied, if your soul is not feeling nurtured, if your soul is not feeling like you're given what you're due or what you need, then there's some deep problems inside of you. And it says, what's really important, and what's really important to you. And that's the question that comes with the challenge of the Empress. And you can't necessarily speak about it in words. You have to feel it, because it's the underpinnings, it's the churning emotions, it's the wild parts of self that feel like they need to be free and be let loose, and to be honored as vibrant parts of self. And that touching of one's intuition and one's emotion, that's that sense of surrender, even that allows one to move from one thing to the next with a sense of grace and trust. That's all a challenge in this. So what is the action you can take? Well, the skunk. And skunk is really about reputation, for one, but primarily it's about understanding that if you feel bad about yourself, are you going to spray everybody around you? If you feel bad about yourself, are you going to just be, pissy with everybody? Are you going to hold grudges? Are you going to hold resentments? Are you going to spray to keep people away from you, to just keep everybody away from you? Are you going to put yourself in your own desert just to keep everybody away from you? And maybe that's what you need in order for you to go into the desert, to really feel what is important to you. But there's the other side of this, is to recognize that you always have the ability to spray. And is it wise for you to just spray everybody and spray everything with your anger, your resentment, or your sense of a need for protection, or your sense of a need for defense? Or is it the recognition that the skunk, you are very playful in generally, and very open, and can be very vulnerable and sharing, and you only really need to haul out those scent glands when you're really feeling like you're ambushed and troubled, and need to protect and defend yourself. So, if if you don't want your reputation to be that of a little stinker that is always stinking everything about, then maybe that's a consideration to take. You can go through your desert, and you can go through your barrenness, and you can go through your senses of feeling unsupported, unloved, uncared for, and not in touch with your intuitions and your deep emotions. But if you spray everybody around you, who's going to be there to help you? Who's going to be there to open to you, to carry you through, to let you look at yourself? And maybe that's the perfect thing again this year, of maybe you have to hit that desert of your soul this year before you can learn how to flourish again. Maybe you have to come down to really understand what is really truly important to you in your life and in your sacred being, and pursue that, and not pursue the things that maybe have been put in front of you that no longer hold that significant value to you anymore, and cast you into a desert of barrenness in your own soul. So in that looking at one's reputation and understanding one's abilities to defend oneself when one needs to, but understanding that you don't usually need to, and you can temper your reactions to things, and only call up that reputation builder in a negative way when you need it, and not be known as a little stinker, but become known as someone who has clear boundaries and clear uh, uh, choices about themselves, and clear things that you can't overrun and overrule and hurt in the process. I think there's a lot of hurt that goes in here, and I think there's a lot of protection that one brings that's in here, and there's not a trust of possibly motherly energy. Is there a trust of your motherly energy? What does that mean? Is there a trust of your mother? Is there a trust of those people who you thought should have been nurturing you and protecting you and helping you to thrive, but weren't there for you? And is that the deepest part of your desert? Quite often it is. When we don't have a mother or a father that is there in the ways that we feel like we've needed them, when we feel, left and abandoned, we go to the deserts of our soul quite often and feel that barrenness and feel that emptiness and feel that lack of, oh, it's too bright in the sun and I don't want to look at this, but it's too cold and dark in the without the sun, and I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what it's going to show me. I'm afraid of what I'm going to hear about myself. And in all of that, do you come to a place of nurturance about yourself and a recognition that you are a vibrant uh, being, and that you are called to be both your mother and your father to yourself in this life, that nurturing must come from you and must then be recognized in the people that can nurture you in the ways that you feel like you need it to be. But first it has to come from you. First it has to be seen through you, and first you have to identify when it didn't happen and why you're mad about it, and um, how you can get past your resentment of it by going into your desert, honestly, going into your desert and feeling the pain of your desert. Ahom Atakuyasin, blessed be.